Hey listeners, I'm Erica.
And I'm Sean.
We are co-owners of Code 1 Barbecue in Wilmington, Massachusetts, and we're here at WCTV on location recording Through Fire and Oak, a podcast about what it's like to run a small business, manage a family, and get through life every day.
I like that one.
Welcome back, listeners. This is Erica and Sean with Through Fire and Oak. We're excited to be here. This is episode 5. Welcome to summer.
Barbecue season.
Thank you, WCTV, for hosting Through Fire and Oak and producing our shows for us. We are at the halfway point of our first season, so that's exciting.
It is exciting.
We made it through 4 whole episodes into this one.
Yep.
We came in here having no idea what we were going to talk about.
Nope.
No.
It was a busy weekend.
Yes.
Tad bit busy.
Well, last episode, we dived into the mental health aspect and all of the, behind-the-scenes stuff that people don't see.
Yep.
And then you went home and crashed for like 6 hours.
I did. I was mentally drained.
We both were. So we're going to make this one a little bit more lighter.
Yep.
Right?
Sure I am.
Okay. Why was it a busy weekend? What'd you do?
What I do?
Yeah, what'd you do?
Well, I went to a little barbecue festival. The whole team did.
Dream team.
The dream team. Crushed it. What an awesome festival that was.
Right. That was the Lexington Battle Green Festival
Yep.
organized by Steve Eastridge. He does
Yep.
it every year. I don't know
Every
how
year.
many years he's been
I
doing
think he
it for.
said 15, but don't quote me on that.
But this was our first year.
This was our first year. There was some awesome pitmasters there. Our good buddy at the barbecue broker,
Greg.
was there.
Yep.
There's Matt's Backyard Barbecue was there.
Binge barbecue.
Binge Barbecue I've never met. They were really sweethearts of guys.
The smoke shop was
The
there.
smoke shop was
Yeah,
there.
we met the catering coordinator who does all the catering
And
for
the
that.
kitchen, was he the
Yeah.
kitchen manager?
He was the culinary director.
Yeah.
They're big enough that they have a culinary director.
Yeah, good for them.
We're over here at this little teeny tiny shop. We're like, all right, it's just the two of us. And he's like, hey, I'm the culinary director. I was like, what does a culinary director do?
Yep. Saturday was crazy busy.
Yes.
And
It was a
from what
beautiful day, though.
It was a beautiful day, and from what we were told, it was not as crazy as it usually was. We went there. It was from 12 to 8 p.m. It took us like 2 hours to set up.
It definitely took us a lot longer than
I
if
feel
you
like-
consider setup, like when you showed up and arrived.
Yeah, when we got there. However, I felt like we took the entire kitchen with us this time. For some reason, it felt like,
We did.
and we emptied out everything but the stove.
We had the generator.
We had,
We had the
thanks to my friend
warmer.
Scott. We brought our food warmer. Everyone did like,
Every table in known existence.
Yep. Like a lot of people had Cambros. We decided to use a warmer.
Well, we
We still took
transported the food in our Cambros. By the
Right.
way, just for those listening that don't know what a Cambro is, it's the hot box that we use to keep food hot when we transport food
Right.
for catering
Right.
and events and stuff
catering
like that.
boxes.
Yeah.
A lot of guys brought their smokers. Unfortunately, we're not set up to do that right quick.
Well, let's talk about how hard it was just to get that smoker in the door when we first got it.
Yeah, I literally thought we were going to. I'm like, all right, well, I guess we're going to be cooking outside like everybody else does.
Yeah, we had a little bit of a trouble, and we
Yeah.
had to call Bob Bryant from Bryant Glass to
Remove the door.
so we could get it in.
Yeah. Even though
I got that on video.
Even though we gave Humphreys the dimensions and they made it to the dimensions, I totally forgot to tell them, oh yeah, don't put the gauges on.
The handles.
No, the handles were fine. It was the gauges, right? And I didn't. It was still wrapped up in Saran wrap. I wasn't gonna unwrap everything. And
Yeah,
take off gauges
you gave
'cause
them the exact specifications of the door, and
Yeah,
that's what
and I
they made it to
forgot- I
versus
forgot about
minusing an inch.
Forgot about the handles, stuff like that. So the door had to come off to get it in. Plus, it weighs close to 1,000 pounds.
Yeah, that was fun getting it down off the
So that
U-Haul.
wasn't coming with us this time. However, I think next time, by next year, who knows what happens? Maybe we do have our a stick burner on the trailer.
We have no idea what the future holds. We can
No.
only hope that we grow and
We get bigger.
and
and-
make more food and
Yeah, I mean, we've gotten bigger now that we're reopening 2 more days a week.
yeah.
Right? We're open tomorrow.
Well, most people don't know what tomorrow is right now.
That is correct.
Although they will be listening to this on a Monday night, but for those that don't catch it when it first comes out.
So Tuesdays and Sundays we are now open.
So we'll be open Tuesday through Sunday.
So Tuesdays and Sundays we'll have a limited menu until we can.
And we'll only be open till 5. It'll be more of a lunch, early dinner crowd.
Right. Unless someone wants to order for later, then one of us can stick around. Someone can stick around.
You can pre-order.
You can pre-order.
That's always
Absolutely.
been an option.
But because of the volume that we've been seeing and the increase of people, we're making a lot more food. We are, and I've said this how many times? 1 million times. More people come out, the more food I can make. I mean, obviously there's a cap. Well,
it's supposed to be the other way around. If you make it, they will come. Right?
Yeah,
Isn't
right.
That from Field of Dreams?
Unfortunately, brisket isn't $1.98 like it used to be.
When did it ever? It never cost us $1.98.
When we started doing it professionally, it was like $3.65 a pound.
Yeah, now it's like $1,000 a pound.
Creekstone has given us a really good deal because of how much we're buying.
Yeah.
We use upper choice. We do not use prime. I mean, occasionally, if we can't get the upper choice.
It would be nice to use prime, but then, that increases our prices on the back end, and then we'd have to increase prices for everybody else.
We just recently had, we've been open now 2.5 years, and we just had to do a price increase. We waited as long as we could.
Well, the restaurant's only been open 18 months.
Right. Well,
we've been around for a little bit longer because we were catering and everything.
Right.
But
but this is the first time we've really had to raise.
Increase any prices.
Right. But back to the festival. I mean, it was just awesome. We got to walk around. We got to meet everybody. Yeah,
we just left the staff to do all the work while we hung out and had fun and drank beers. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, we got a chance to. I myself.
You fell asleep in the chair while we were.
I did fall asleep in the chair. So let's talk about that. We started cooking for the festival a little bit
Friday morning,
right?
Like 3 a.m.
But our catering personnel who runs our catering division.
Who runs our catering division?
That would be you.
Oh, okay.
We had catering.
I'm the catering manager.
We had catering that had to go out on Friday. That had to be cooked for.
Okay, we have to backtrack a second because we've been signed up for the festival for about 5 months now since Steve, started planning it. And as we got closer and closer, we knew it was graduation season and we knew there'd be a lot of parties. And I kept saying, people are requesting barbecue for that day for their parties. Do you want to take it on? And you were like, take it on. Can we swear on this?
Probably not.
Technically.
You were like, screw it. Take it on. Let's just do it. And then you just kept saying, yeah, okay.
Hold on.
And I was like, it's just pork butt. It's just a full tray of wings.
And then Friday night is like, a full tray of wings might be behind.
We had all of the information in it. Okay, so here's a little bit behind the scenes. I had all of that information laid out for weeks. And then the night rolls around and Sean starts to panic because he doesn't think he can cook enough food and make enough food.
145 wings. I was like, you got to be kidding me.
That's not a lot of wings.
It doesn't seem like it's a lot of wings, but when you got to put, when
it takes up a lot of space.
It takes a lot of space in our smoker. I mean, our smoker's large, right? It's like it's the equivalent of a 750-gallon stick burner. Pretty close to it, at least.
Yeah, but what we thought was large when we bought it because of what we were working on.
If I knew we were going to be this popular this soon, I would have tried to get 4 of them,
or just something much bigger.
Yeah, I would have had them go bigger, but you can't. It's so crazy. Like scaling is not as easy as people think it is, right? Because you got to do so many different things before you scale. But you also have to cook more.
And then you have to struggle and spend the money in the meantime in order to do that.
Yeah. So,
Or try not to spend the money.
Or try not to spend the money so when it comes time to. But, people want to be paid.
Well, yeah, we have to make payroll.
We have to make payroll. We have to get payments to the light company and whatever it takes to run the
gas,
business, right?
Yep.
Most people understand that.
There's a certain number, there's a certain dollar amount it costs just to open the restaurant for the day.
And then, in order to buy, I would love to have 2 1,000-gallon M&M stick burners in our back of our kitchen. I mean, the back of our, right? I would love an M&M rotisserie.
I know.
2000, right?
I hear about it day in and day out.
You know, those three, having two 1,000-gallon stick burners and a rotisserie, and we could cook for whatever party, right?
Hundreds of briskets. But we could do that, but could you physically do that by yourself? Because now we go back to the festival and the catering.
Right. It was so from Wednesday morning to the time I left Saturday afternoon, it was close to I felt like it was 90 hours of work I did. I was taking naps on tables.
Yeah, on the booth. In the U-Haul van that
you guys were almost finished. I had finished loading the heavy stuff with you guys, and you guys were getting all the odds and ends. I'm like, nap time. I'm taking a nap.
Yeah, you kept...
I was falling asleep.
Falling asleep on demand.
Yeah, people were talking to me. I'm like,
I think we've talked about this in quite a few episodes.
It was just not trying to get cat naps in. And then, Greg from the barbecue broker was also preparing for the festival. So we were chatting at night, oh, what are you doing? What are you working on? I think I got 30 ribs racks. And, this poor guy himself who has a second job and does this, he does this quite often. And he's himself, he's I got to go take a nap for 3 hours. And then I got a text message the next day, okay, I got a 2-hour nap, and now I got to get 30 racks of ribs on. And I'm like, you poor guy. And then I'm like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah,
I got to get 6 more briskets on.
This is kind of what you signed up for.
Yeah, in a way.
There was a moment way back in the day when we were first talking about doing the barbecue thing, and I was like, are you sure?
Yeah.
You sure you want to be up all night cooking?
There's no, it's
way
no
harder
way.
than you ever think it could be.
Yeah, as much as you can prepare, there's always something
you can't prepare.
For.
Yeah,
you can't, right?
You have to leave room for the
briskets
unimaginable.
Come in, you get 10 boxes of briskets with 5 in each box. Unfortunately, we get 4 because our briskets.
Well, it doesn't
are
matter
whatever, right?
Yeah.
You got to prep all that stuff.
Yeah,
right?
hundreds of pounds of meat.
Hundreds of pounds of briskets have to be prepped. Then you got to prep pork butt, which doesn't take a bit, but everything has to come out of a cryovac bag. That itself, unboxing the boxes, taking things out of the bag,
drying them off,
patting them dry, trimming. It's a lot of work.
What would you say to yourself now, if you had, if you could go back in time to that moment when we were sitting in the carport with our little teeny tiny pit boss, and you were smoking, one brisket, having, we're having the family over tomorrow for a backyard barbecue.
Yeah.
And you were thinking about, I could do this for a living. My food's, really good. What would you say to yourself right now?
Well, I wouldn't have done it. It was basically your friends Jackie and Kelly who said you should be selling this stuff, right? If it was up to me, I'd still be in the backyard with.
Right, but you would have done it. You wouldn't have done it if it weren't for.
Well,
excuse me. Hello. Wait, what am I back here like?
Of course.
I would tell myself to cut and run. Run.
You would always say, "Oh my God, the food is amazing." Blah, 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 blah. Right?
One of the things that we struggled with was finding barbecue around us that we could really enjoy and that I could eat because of my allergies.
Yeah.
So,
and that's how we got started. And I think a lot of people understand that. It's just, I would just say, you got to be prepared for the unpreparable, right? You got to get briskets in boxes. You're not going to see, you can't hand pick them. That you get sent what you get sent, and you got to work with it. Some of them look like someone played tic-tac-toe in the back of the brisket with gouges, right? X's and O's.
Yeah.
And you have to deal with that. You have to get the brisket out.
What do you think our brisket count's going to be on this episode?
Oh, probably at 70, poor Maria. I'm not even going to say it anymore. You have to get the stuff out.
It's not just brisket, by the way. Everything comes cryovac. The pork butts, not the chicken, but
that itself is just having the separate hand to say, okay, I'm going to unbox everything and I'm going to give you the raw meat to trim, right? I could trim a brisket pretty quickly, I think, when they're perfect coming out of the cryovac, right? And that's a good thing with Creekstone.
Most of them are excellent
pretty
condition.
Uniform and they're in excellent condition, right? So I can just do what I got to do, move on, and get them going. So preparing for the festival was nuts because I also had to prepare for everything else, right? And I think we closed down the restaurant on Saturday because we could not.
I was reluctant to that. Like I'm the one in the restaurant that they call me one last sale because I'm running the business and I'm paying the bills.
The problem is you would sell a kitchen door if it was going to make us money.
Yes.
Right? Which is the way you should be.
That's what I do for a living.
Drives me nuts. And, but that's just the way it is.
You had run out and told the team, oh, we're going to shut down early Friday night. And Sheila's like, wait, I didn't hear anybody get smacked back in the kitchen.
But then at 5:30, we didn't shut down. We shut down like an hour and 20 minutes later.
Well, of course not, because we had people coming in the door and food to sell still.
I'm like, oh my God, I can't get things done if I'm cutting meat. What is going on? But whatever. We got to the festival. The festival was amazing. And then Saturday, we had a great crowd. We had some really nice people going. And Sunday.
You know what I learned? I learned that you can do way more than you think you can.
Yeah, when you're not as tired.
No, you were exhausted, and you did it anyway.
Yeah.
And we cooked way more on that Saturday because we had the festival and the catering than we have been.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of times where you're like, no, I can't do it, I can't do it, I can't do it. But when you're pushed to do it, you really can do it.
Yeah.
Of course, we don't want you going like 30 hours every weekend.
No. But yeah, no, definitely. We know, well, now we know what the exact limit is of our smoker. Like the exact what we can fit and what we can't fit, what we can say yes to and what we can say no to.
Right.
So
where we're hitting capacity and where we're not.
But hitting capacity is not the issue. We need an assistant pitmaster.
Yep.
Summer's coming up.
This is summer. Summer's here.
Yeah.
Right? Or is it like, it's like June 21st
I think it's like June
or something?
20th. But next week is supposed to be 90 degrees. People are going to be lighting up their barbecue. Right?
Right.
And
but we would prefer if you come get barbecue from us.
Well, again, we don't sell hot dogs, hamburgers.
No, we don't do that.
Tips, right? So that's what a lot of people think. When people think, oh, I'm going to have a barbecue this weekend.
That's what you do. We used to do that too.
Right. But it's not smoked meat. Like when people think of barbecue.
Right.
Right? They think of, I'm going to make some steak tips. I'm going to make. So what happens is guys who do barbecue or smoke meat.
Guys and women, because there's plenty of women.
We've learned that this weekend, right?
Yes.
Once again. It's not as easy as people think it is. And it's,
It's super time consuming.
It's super time consuming. And for a restaurant, too, like, let's just talk about bad reviews for a second, right? We've had some outstanding 5-star reviews.
Most of our reviews are 5- and 4-star reviews,
right.
Which we love and appreciate.
And we understand that we're not a perfect
We're not everybody's cup of tea.
And we're not everybody's cup of tea.
Right.
But what happens is someone new will come into the restaurant who hasn't had us, who has an expectation of what they think good barbecue is, right? Because they've gone to this
Just an expectation of what barbecue is in general.
In general, right?
Right.
Where there's so many different areas of barbecue. You've got Memphis, you've got Texas, which is what we tried to emulate.
Yeah, we're more Central Texas.
Central Texas barbecue. And they'll walk through the door and, obviously we're not going to say names, but we had that one person that came in, couldn't get what they wanted, right? And they had walked in and the store didn't seem busy, but our board was full of DoorDash orders, call-ins, catering.
Well, and part of it too is that there's just a way things work in the restaurant industry, and most restaurants are like this, except for maybe on a Saturday and Sunday. If you're in a busy shopping plaza, or if you're the only restaurant around, you have a lunch rush. And I've been working in the restaurant industry for a lot of years, so you have a lunch rush where everybody wants to eat between 11:30 and 12:30. That's everybody who's going to come in.
Yeah.
And it's packed. And, we'll be on a 45-minute to an hour wait. And then come 1 o'clock, 1:30, we get just random stragglers walking in. We're not on a wait. Somebody comes in, gets their food, they gets to leave. And during that time, nobody's eating lunch and nobody's ready for dinner yet.
No, but we're also restocking the restaurant.
There's so many things.
We're making, right?
Yeah.
We're trying to make the stuff that we're sold out
Yeah.
of. And unfortunately, I can't do that with the protein. I can't just throw a brisket on like Burger King. Like, okay, order number 71, 6 briskets.
Yeah, grab that frozen piece of meat and throw it on.
Right. So when people come in, and this one individual came in, we were out of a few things, and then they left, and they wrote.
They did not buy anything, by the way.
No, they just left, right?
Yeah.
And instead of saying anything to us, they just went and wrote a review, and the review is like, "Good thing that there's a
temporary sign.
banner because they're not going to be here long. It would have been better if you just told us what you had or didn't have instead of me asking."
I walked in on a seemingly dead Saturday with nothing happening.
The day that review came out, I wish we would have taken pictures of the board because we had so much pre-orders.
Yeah.
And that's what people don't see. People are calling us on a Tuesday to get a beef rib on Saturday.
If you've never actually worked in the restaurant industry, you can't understand the chaos happening behind the scenes that people are trying to keep together.
And, what I want to say to people, if you got it, there's nothing wrong with leaving a bad review. Because even for us, right, we take those bad reviews, we share them with the rest of our group.
Yeah, and we try to do better.
And we try to do better. Okay, we missed someone's cornbread that they paid for.
Right.
Right? That can't happen.
Right.
We can't give someone Brussels.
Somebody got mac and cheese and the cheese sauce seemed too watery.
We got to slow down. We got to make sure what the people are ordering right so they have the best experience that we can give to them.
Some people just aren't going to like the food, and that's fine.
But I'm fine with that. But to say that we're disgusting or they don't know what they're doing, what makes you know what you're doing?
Yeah.
Just because you're in your backyard putting on one brisket, try doing 20,
well, this
30
person
at a
was
time.
clearly not a smoked meat kind of person.
Right.
They were just a
and I said this before.
person
I love
who
the
gives
people
bad
who
reviews to
understand
restaurants.
barbecue and who do brisket. They'll do a brisket a weekend. They'll do some ribs with it. We love those people because they understand what goes on behind the scenes to get the best quality brisket out or whatever it is. Those are my favorite people. And the people in the restaurant know, if I see someone that has any kind of barbecue knowledge, I'm running out, I'm high-fiving them, I'm hugging them, asking, what they're smoking on.
Yeah, somebody came in and dropped a card the other day, and you were like, "Oh, who's this guy?" And he didn't ask to talk to you because he thought you were busy, and you gave him a call, and he's like, "Hey, I'm just starting smoking new in the scene."
And the first thing I said is, "Why don't you come in next week? If I could pass off any kind of knowledge to you as far as what to expect and how to get things going, I'd be happy to do that." The more barbecue places that are out there is better for everybody.
Well, when you think about, we're like Central Texas barbecue. Well, if you go to Texas, there's thousands of barbecue places.
One's here, one's there.
Every corner.
Right. And
they all they all thrive out there. I mean, I'm sure some don't make it. I'm sure some, aren't that great.
People don't like this person. People don't like that
Locations aren't always the best, stuff like that. Whatever. Everybody has their particularly favorite one. But there's like a handful of barbecue places in Massachusetts, and we're so spread out on the South Shore, on the North Shore, in Boston, west of, I don't know if there's anything west of us, but, all these places all over the place that, there's no real direct competition when you think about it. And we're all very different from each other. That's one of the things that we...
You don't have to hate our barbecue.
Or anybody,
to like somebody else's.
Exactly.
I would never say to someone, don't go to XY place because
I like this other place better.
Because I like this other place. You should go try it.
But we're also in that industry, too, where... most of these barbecue places that you see, they're small businesses like us. They're family run, they're local businesses. Like the people that work there and run the place all live in the neighborhood. We're all, doing the best we can to earn a living and to be job creators and to bring our joy and our love to you.
That is why, once people found out we were going to the festival, like the other, Binge Barbecue and Master.
Yeah, we all started following each other.
Chatting.
Yeah, reaching out.
What are you bringing? What are you smoking? And then I get there, we're all like high five. I never met you. Thanks for coming, brother. It was amazing.
It was really nice. We just even the large, even the smoke shop, which has 6 restaurants, opening 2 more. Talking to the, catering manager, all of them. It's just, it's it should be a family scene. It's, it's all about support. You don't want to, other businesses to go down just because you're in business. Like, that's not what you do.
Yeah. And it is what it is. Like, it's just.
But speaking of the bad reviews, it's like when you go out of your way to leave a nasty review just because you have a personal opinion, you don't realize that, there's someone sitting behind that screen that's busted their ass and not slept for 2 years to build something that, you think your opinion is the most important one of all, and that, you don't have any real valid feedback or critique to offer that can help us do better.
And some of these people are pretty spiteful. It's like, yeah, don't ever go there.
Oh, yeah. We have one guy who keeps updating his review because he wants it to be the first 1-star review because he was unhappy with the way I responded to him.
Yeah, and that's the other
about
thing.
His,
they want to be able to give 100% of their opinion without the restaurant saying, well, this is what happened. They don't want to hear it. Some people don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
Now, there are
or
some
even,
people,
hey, how can we help make your experience better next time? And then they're like, no, you suck.
And then there are some people who have given us, mediocre reviews, and then you responded, and they were like, okay, I think if you just had done X, Y, and Z, I didn't like your mac and cheese because it's a little bit too thin for us, right?
So then we say, okay, the mac and cheese is, what can we do to, enhance the quality of our mac and cheese?
When you come in, give us. Hopefully, you give us another shot so we can make it right with you. And
most of them come in again.
And most of them come in again, and they thank us for making it work. We want to make it work. We want people to like our barbecue. I'm not doing this just to say I can barbecue.
We know you can barbecue,
right? I'm not. This isn't about glory for me. Like, I try to be pretty humble about what goes on, but.
Which is why when we go into live videos, you shut down and you get all weird. You're like, I don't want to talk to people in person.
I know, and I do like talking to the people in person. It's just like, never
the social media thing's not your.
It's not. I love
still learning how to do that.
The one-on-one is what I really like. I like when people come into the restaurant, asking questions, and we'll show them the smoker. We'll show them my process.
Yes.
I'll tell you what's on our protein. I have no problem with that.
Yeah, we have nothing to hide. We're simple.
No, there's no secret ingredients. There's none of that.
We're just out here trying to share what we love and do what we love.
Send our kids to school and make a living doing this, so I don't have to turn wrenches for the rest of my life anymore. I don't have the body for it.
I think anybody who has any kind of passion or love for something and the ability to actually turn it into a business, it's
find a way to do it.
It's not easy, but it's not easy working for somebody else either. Or it's not easy doing something you hate. So if I just pride us on the fact that we did not care what anybody else thought.
Yeah, and listen,
we were like, we're going to do this thing.
If you think you want to start a brick and mortar barbecue company,
or anything,
or any kind of restaurant, stop by our place. Come talk to us.
Or any kind of business in general.
Yeah,
you want to make cupcakes.
There are people who will 100% help. I've never gone to this festival, right? And Greg from the Barbecue Broker.
You've never gone to this festival?
We've never gone.
Yeah,
to this festival.
I was going to say, I've never gone either.
Code 1 has never gone. I didn't know what to expect. I reached out to
None
Greg,
of us knew what to expect,
and Greg was like, hey, this is what's going to happen, blah, blah, blah. Maybe we can get spots next to each other in case, We
didn't, though. We were totally the last ones there. We were so late.
Yeah. But, that's what this is about.
But so it's new for us because we're just so discombobulated. This isn't like having a backyard barbecue in our own yard where we're like, hey, we're going to invite our family over and grill and smoke some meat and then, sit around and eat. And it is not. There's so many moving parts.
And I tell everyone, it doesn't matter what kind of machine you're smoking out of. Just keep going, keep doing it. Find a way to make it your own. Find a way to make it.
Yeah, if that's what they like to do, for sure. Right. And they don't no one has to start a barbecue business just because they smoke out of their backyard.
No, start a small catering business. Go get a little LLC. Start with catering. That was the best thing we ever did. Start with catering.
It was just the two of us back then.
Right? So you can concentrate on each catering.
I said that to the team. I said after we were done all setting up for the festival and we were like, because it was a 12 to 8 festival, so we were 10 hours deep into it. And I was like, can you believe that Sean and I used to do this alone back in the day, like before the restaurant? And they're like, no. No, not at all.
No.
And we used to do a lot of stuff like that, a lot of events and
Yeah, I would like to
start
getting back into the breweries again. You know, if you're a brewery out there listening, call us.
Yeah.
We want to be at your brewery.
Well, I'm going to call you because I'm setting that all up right now.
I like beer.
You know,
so
I can't drink beer. I'm allergic, but
that's all right.
That's all right. I'll still sell food there.
You know,
but we've done breweries. We've done
Adams
we've done a few in Everett, and
we've been concentrating. The first year we concentrated on getting the restaurant up and getting it to be kind of seamless.
Yeah,
right?
Because one of the things that I enjoy most is not that I don't like being in the restaurant, but I like being out there networking and meeting new people bringing in the business.
That's how we bring it in the business, right?
Yeah.
And now that the restaurant is kind of running on its own, we have our people, we have our set people.
Yeah.
We can kind of get out the door and introduce ourselves a little bit more and start getting back into the festivals, the pop-ups,
right?
The farmers markets, or whatever it is. We could start doing more of that, knowing that we can leave the restaurant and not have to worry about.
Yeah, maybe we could leave the restaurant sometimes and not work together and maybe take a date or something.
Yeah, maybe if you stop putting so much catering on you, I could probably meet you there. I don't know if I can drive there, but I can meet you there.
We did that. We had one night out where we were able to actually leave the restaurant and go do something together for a little while, and it was
it was a great time.
Yeah, it was a good time, but it was a lot of work to get us to be able to do that. I
could walk the next day, but that's all right.
We went axe throwing. That was a lot of fun.
And that same through the festival. That ended yesterday. I feel like I've been hit by a truck.
And this is why I wake up at 5:30 every morning and I exercise and I take care of my health because I'm fine.
Listen, round is a shape. When people say you're in shape, round's a shape. It's a total shape. It's in the shape category, round.
I'm not saying round's not a shape, but work your body out a little bit. Get some strength.
Yeah, it's past me.
Make it so that your back doesn't hurt.
I just turned 49. I feel like I'm 58.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Listen, I get up
I just turned 44 and I feel like I'm 34.
That's good for you. I'm glad. I always like dating younger women anyway. So.
I may be wearing a Golden Girls shirt, but
I know. How funny is I put Bob Ross on today.
And the Golden Girls. We're old school in it.
Vibing,
yeah.
As the kids would say. You're totally
We
vibing.
look like that really cool couple walking around.
Yeah, we're cool, all right.
And we do have an event coming up that we're planning with our neighbors next door.
Yep.
With Casablanca.
Yep. When is that going to be?
July 20th.
Right.
It's a Saturday. We have not worked out all of the details.
But that's going to be fun.
It'll be fun. We're going to have live music.
Live music.
Jackie with Next Generation Concerts is putting together the entertainment.
Awesome.
And we're going to try to get in some, games and, we'll coordinate. I don't know. We have no idea. We're kind of like...
We should do a cornhole tournament.
Yeah, maybe a cornhole thing or something,
And the winner gets a free dinner or something.
Yeah, there'll be raffles. Like
the
winner
become the pitmaster for a weekend.
Yeah, I don't think that's an actual job that
that's
somebody would...
reward.
No.
Okay.
We don't want the restaurant to get shut down either.
Yeah. It is kind of illegal.
Yeah, so we're planning that with Ricardo next door at Casablanca.
Awesome.
It'll be out in the parking lot right where we both are. It's help drive some business to our area and bring some people into our town and, have people get to know where we are.
And it could be rain or shine because it'll be under a tent. We're going to have some tents.
Yeah, we'll hopefully have some tents.
Tents, tables, chairs.
Yeah, and hopefully there's no rain because, it rained so hard on Sunday.
Yesterday.
Oh, was that yesterday?
It was yesterday.
It feels like it was a week ago. It was yesterday.
Because your body hurts and you don't want to say it.
No, my body's fine. Ladies and gentlemen, my body's fine.
Yesterday when I woke up, I thought the weather said it was going to rain for like an hour. So
he kept telling everybody it'll be over soon.
Yeah, but like a jerk, I wore Crocs.
So
I was like a
once
duck
the rain stopped,
walking
they
on
dried
water yesterday. Like, squish, squish, squish. My feet were soaking wet. However, by the end of the day, I was completely dry, and you guys all had wet feet. So.
Not me. Mine were fine. I was wearing those super moisture wicking sneakers.
We brought the van right up to where our spot was, and I stepped into a straight yellow puddle from the pollen.
Yes, so gross.
And it went over the top of my Crocs all the way through the holes. And they're not even real Crocs. They're make-believe Crocs that I got on Amazon for like $3.85.
They're like the ones that are like skinnier.
Yeah. Way comfortable.
I can't wear Crocs.
Oh, that's your problem.
Yeah, they just don't
feel like that's your problem.
They just don't fit my feet properly.
Yeah, because you're tiny.
I am tiny.
So it rained and my feet were soaking wet for like a good half.
Yeah, so the start of the festival was a little bit slow, but it turned out to be good. And then we were there. The sun came out, and this one person came up, and she's like, "You need to stay open longer. It's nice out now." And I'm like, "Yeah, but that's not how it works."
The festival work ends,
and it ends at 4. That's what the permit's
I actually
still.
have to go home, unpack my entire kitchen.
How about what that kitchen looked like at the end of the night?
Oh, I don't even talk about it. We shut the lights off. I look back, I'm like, oh, I hope the kitchen fairies show up tonight. Click. And
Meanwhile,
then we came in
the
this
next
morning
day,
to drop off food. I was like, son of a gun, they never showed.
No.
Where are those gnomes?
No.
No one.
They don't exist.
Crickets.
They don't exist at home either, by the way, Sean. That's just me doing all that work.
We're still dirty. Dishes over here in the sink. We're still dirty.
You totally just glossed over that comment I just made.
I did, totally. So today has been a day. And now we're open up on Tuesday.
Well, clearly, I think that we could have organized our summer reopening a little better and not come directly after the festival, because then our Monday dishwasher is out sick, and, we just didn't have the organization that we probably should have to open the next day. But hey,
I pooped a little this day. I'm not going to lie. I pooped my pants a little bit today. I didn't think it was going to happen. When I walked in this morning and forgot that the festival was the day before because I was so tired, I was like, this was poor planning on our part.
Yeah, you were snoring this morning when I got out of bed at like 5:30. I was like, all right, I'll just let him sleep for a little while.
And then I woke up at 8:30.
Now you got to go in and cook.
I woke up at 8:30 in pure panic.
Yeah, I'm wondering, why you were late.
Who took the ribs off? Oh, wait a minute. It's Monday morning. Yeah.
But we'll make it through just like we always do.
We always do.
You can make all the plans you want. You just got to prepare for the unexpected.
That's all it is.
And keep pushing forward.
Keep pushing forward. Keep making the meat. Keep making the sides.
A lot of people are excited that we're opening more days now.
Great.
Yeah.
Are they willing to come to work?
No, but I think we'll be okay.
Well, we do have some really nice add-ons that we picked up for the summer.
Yep.
Our 2 college graduates are back, Nolan and
Joe.
And Christian just came on, and our good friend Blake.
He's going to join us to help you with the pit.
On the pitmaster side, so there'll be some training there, which I'm really excited about. Because guess what? I'm not opening any more cryovac bags.
Yeah, I know. Good luck, Blake.
I'm not going to do that.
You're going to be dreaming about cryovac bags in your sleep.
So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to having a very, very busy summer. I'm looking forward to people ordering food from us for their backyard barbecues, and Father's Day is coming up soon.
There's lots of things coming up.
Yeah.
Also, something cool kind of happened.
What is that?
I don't know. I mean, you didn't hear?
What?
We were featured in Eater Boston.
What?
You know what Eater is a...
Yeah,
I don't know. They review. They're all over the place.
Yeah.
They review restaurants. They have one in like every city, and they post about restaurants all over the place. And for Eater Boston, we were listed in. We were second on the list, but it wasn't a numbered list. But we just happened to be second, on the list. But it's the 17 essential barbecue restaurants in and around Massachusetts. And
it's pretty awesome.
We were featured in there. And wow, because that's such an honor.
Huge.
The restaurant's been open 18 months.
I cried a little bit.
We just, and there's some places in there that, we thought would have been mentioned and weren't. We're not going to mention any names, and it's all a matter of opinion and stuff like that, but we were mentioned alongside some other really great places that have been around for a really long time.
A real long time.
We're so new to the scene. So it was a big honor, and it's a big, accomplishment.
I would say.
Every day we go, I get these moments where I go into, work, and I'm like, I'm going to have a great day. Things are going to be great. And then, sometimes by the end of the day, I'm exhausted and I feel so defeated. Like, how am I going to make it through the next day? How am I going to make it through the next week? How am I going to bring in all these sales?
Yes, and it's like, especially for me, it's like you're only as good as the last piece of food that goes out. Like, you could have rave reviews all day long. This is the best I've ever had, and then you get some grumpy person that comes in. It's like, oh, I've had better at so and so.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay, it's 7:55.
And like we're
at night. You're getting the very last piece of brisket that's left over. We're explaining that to you, and then you want to rate us like it's 11:30, and the brisket is.
But even beyond that, it's just all of the work that you put into it, and then you're like, hey, is this even? Like, what am I doing? Is this even worth it? And, and then I wake up the next day and I get all these great customers and these regulars, or, my staff come in and we have a great time. And then I'm like, oh, this is amazing. And, and then you keep going and you keep trying to bring in, people and bring in sales. And, our location's kind of off the beaten path.
Yeah.
No yawning during the podcast. Somebody's
Sorry,
already
Maria.
tired.
A poor producer.
I don't think she should cut that one out. And you think and then you might have a slow day and you're like, oh no, we had a slow day. It's going to be terrible. And then, something like Eat or Boston comes out and you're listed, along with, the 17 other great places. And it's like, okay, what I'm doing is I'm doing something here that's actually worth it.
Maybe my barbecue isn't trash.
Yeah.
Again, it's, you see what other people are cooking, and it's to be even if we were just an honorable mention in that article, would have been great. But I mean,
yeah,
I opened that up. I was like, "What? Hey, that's our restaurant."
Yeah,
like, holy cow!
But then you tried to play it off like something bad had happened. You're like, "Guess what? Guess what? This article came out about barbecue places." And we were on it.
I was on that.
You do that every time to me, and then I'm like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
I read that article, right? I'm going to let you know, I didn't read the whole thing. It said 17.
Which is not
best
uncommon.
essential, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, God, who got on this list? I wonder who got on this list.
Yeah.
I was on the edge of the bed. I think I already had one sock on. And I'm like, oh, God, here we go. I see the first one. Second one, Code One Barbecue. I was like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
So, and that's what makes it worth it. People liking your barbecue is what it's all about.
I mean, it's not all about, the publicity and everything, but getting the notice. Because, I mean, why else would we'd be doing this? Is because we want people to enjoy our barbecue and we want to provide something
I want to know
out
what
into
I'm
the world.
is what people want to eat.
Yeah.
Right? And that's why.
Why does anybody do anything, to provide a product, a need, to put that out there for everybody to enjoy.
Right.
For people who need stuff like that or want that.
We might be your type of barbecue that you're like, but you don't have to hate my place because of it.
Right.
And I don't mind people not liking our food. Like, that's just.
Yeah, that's
a fact of life.
Everybody has their own taste and their own opinions,
Yeah.
and I mean, it's funny because we put so much salt. I mean, if you've ever worked in a restaurant and especially in a kitchen, you know how much salt goes into the food. So when somebody sits down at the table and then pours salt on the food, I'm always like, oof. But hey, that's their palate.
And Central Texas barbecue.
It's just salt and pepper.
It's just salt and pepper, and I use a lot of salt, and like the mixtures that we use are pretty typical mixture, and even still, I'm like, this is a lot of salt.
It is a lot of salt, but it's what is required
to make the good barbecue.
Yeah,
I mean, there's days where I'm like, Hadouken, that's a lot of salt. Like, I feel like I'm throwing salt into this big vat, because I try to
buy it by the caseload every week.
We just bought another 60 pounds of pepper. Yeah. And that will get us to maybe I don't even know how long.
It's only a few weeks.
Not even. Like, we went through the last 50, 60 pounds quick.
Every week we kind of increase in capacity, and again, it's like it's catering season.
And that's the other thing is like trying to find the stuff that we need nowadays.
Yeah,
like kosher salt.
We've had a lot of struggle with our products that we need to bring in order to be consistent.
We bought 60 boxes of kosher salt.
Yeah.
And every time we go to Restaurant Depot,
Yeah,
or
they
we
don't.
order from our provider
They
and
don't
we ask
have
for
it.
Oh, yeah, sorry, we're out. I'm like, oh boy.
Well, that's why we try to get it before we run out.
Yeah,
Because
but and it's impossible to get. It's like you might go get potatoes and walk through the same aisle as salteds, and I'm like, none for you people.
yeah. Or
I'm like sticking my
how
arm
about
out,
that time like we used cavatappi and we couldn't find cavatappi forever. Anyway,
No one knew how to roll
we were all
cavatappi.
sneaking over to Market Basket every day to buy boxes of cavatappi.
I used to have to put a hood over my head. Like how many
Nobody
boxes?
wear your Code 1 shirt to Market Basket.
Who's going to Market Basket today? Who's going? Where's somebody else's
Which Market
t-shirt?
Basket? Did you try the one
put
down the
a
road?
Meineke shirt on. And then you go through the aisle with your arms sticking out and like rolling.
Like, just leave one box behind.
And face it so it looks like there's more.
And then that happened with Brussels at one point, too. And I'm like, okay, I went to Market Basket. They had like 7 bags of Brussels. I bought 6. I was like, well, I left one bag for somebody else to have some Brussels.
The product gets off the shelf. Pepsi came in today. I forgot to tell you.
Oh.
Right?
Yep, I have to message him our order.
I already did it.
Oh, I don't know if I like that. What did you tell him what we needed?
Everything.
We didn't need the Mountain Dew. We didn't need the root beer. We got all that.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that's why I do this stuff.
Okay. Well, anyway, I didn't see anything on the floor.
Yeah.
So.
Not because we keep everything on the floor, but because we have overflow stock in containers.
Not the stuff you drink.
Yeah.
So it's just overflow. Anyway, he came in. He's like, man, you guys are really low on stuff because we were both like, oh, yeah, there's nothing there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I'll take a ink.
Well, we did bring a lot of it to the festival this weekend.
Yes, absolutely. So we ordered. I'm like, oh my! And he's like, what happened this weekend? I said, oh, we went to a festival. We took all of our sodas. And he's like, man, sodas. And he's like, man, you really wiped this place out. Maybe it's time to get another cooler. I'm like, don't you?
Where would we even put another cooler?
That's what I said. Like, where?
We have the tiniest space.
I can't add a ladder to the roof. Yes, here's your brisket and your Pepsi's on the roof.
Yeah, and it's already crowded. It's a little overcrowded, and it's
time for a storage unit.
Yeah, or a bigger space.
Much bigger restaurant would be nice.
Yeah, for sure. I mean that's
with
something.
With a bar with alcohol.
Yeah, how many things we could do.
And a kitchen 27 million times bigger than the one I
would just like a second option second set of burners, and a dishwasher, like not a human dishwasher, but like an electronic one. Yeah, a human has to load it, but the dishwasher does the work for us.
I would like to be able to prep my meat
without having
without touching someone else's bum. Back-to-back bums.
That sounds not appropriate in a restaurant. Who's calling HR right now?
Between me and Leo, we're bumping into each other like a wrestling match.
And you have Susan trying to do cornbread.
That poor woman has to share a table with me.
We have 2 prep tables in the back. That's all we have space
awful.
for.
It's like I feel like it's a rental. Okay, you're in from 2 to 3.
And so
I'm in from 3 to midnight.
We're also very cautious of cross-contamination because we don't have any gluten, dairy. Like our meat is all gluten-free, dairy-free, soy-free. So Susan has to come in super early in the morning to start the cornbread and then clean off the entire space and sanitize it and move everything and get it all ready so that you can go in the afternoon and
maybe use the table.
Unpack cryovac meat to prep for the next day. I didn't say the B word.
The place is just too small. We outgrew it in like 3 months, which is great, which is wonderful. I'm glad that we've outgrown it.
But we all do the dance. We all work around each other really nice. I mean, we figure it out and we get through it. And,
we sure do.
But a walk-in cooler would be nice.
Oh my God.
I mean, a walk-in freezer where you can just go and
yell,
scream your head off and cool down.
What did he say?
Summertime, so it's going to get really hot in there.
That's the other thing. There's no AC in the kitchen.
Right.
Like working in the African plains. There's
I mean, I wouldn't know what that was like, but I mean, maybe you do.
You're slicing that wrong. Any for me? Could you slab?
I'm pretty sure they're vegetarians.
Lions walking through. Have you seen that gazelle I'm looking for? So, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it gets hot in there.
It was a good weekend. A lot of great stuff coming up. Open Sundays and Tuesdays. Tuesdays and Sundays.
Yep, we'll be open more days.
Yep.
Yeah, we spend a lot of time, working and doing the restaurant thing. one of the things that I was thinking about while we were sitting here talking was how we don't have a smoker at home anymore, and we don't smoke meat at home anymore, and we don't host barbecues anymore.
Nope.
We don't have company, period.
Nope.
Like, we go home and the kids are like, can we have friends over? And we're like, no, please no. We've seen enough people.
Are those friends imaginary?
Yeah, we like when other people host and, invite us.
And we don't have to do
if you
anything.
want, but if they want us to cater, we can cater for them from the restaurant.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm not cooking anything at the house. Not even Fruit Loops.
Yeah. Trust me, I'm very well aware of that. Yeah.
However, Fruit Loops are delicious.
Yeah. Listen, when I met this guy, if any of y'all listening to this can believe this,
Please edit
20
this out.
20 years ago when I met this guy, he couldn't boil water.
I could boil. What?
Now we'll catch him, sauteing Brussels sometimes in the back of the kitchen when we don't have a line cook on.
That's absolute out of
He couldn't boil water, or he pretended he couldn't boil water.
That's absolute necessity.
I think the one thing that you made for yourself at all ever was hamburger helper.
Can we talk about how delicious it is?
It's disgusting. It is so gross. I may be allergic to it, but it's still disgusting.
That's why you don't like it. That is the quickest and easiest thing to do as a guy to make.
But this just goes to show that anybody can grow and learn and change, even you.
Well, that's a great podcast.
Anybody can, try something new and,
Awesome.
turn it into a career.
The next episode, we'll have a marriage counselor here.
That should have been the last episode.
All right.
All right. I think, I think that we're good, What do you think?
Well prepared.
We're ready for summer. Are you ready for summer?
I'm as ready as I can be, I think.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot. So,
Yeah. Well, now that we were able to get some help.
Got a lot of full service catering events coming up. We're going to be.
I'm glad I don't do this. Yeah.
Doing one, at a brewery, and you cook all the food for that, and that's why I'm telling you.
Yeah. I don't have to show up.
Yeah, you don't. No.
Yeah.
But if somebody wanted you to show up for an event, we could totally plan that.
I totally show up. Totally show up.
You'll have a little bit of help this summer, which is great.
Awesome.
You have a few more people in the restaurant.
Yeah, thanks to Blake coming on board.
Yep. So we're excited for all of that. We have our event July 20th.
Yep.
We plan on doing a lot more events and festivals, and we have some cool things coming up, I think.
I think so.
Yeah.
Maybe next podcast we'll come a little bit more prepared. Get more than 3.5 hours sleep before.
You totally slept all night last night. Today was not the day that you did a 3.5 hour sleep. So, even though you're yawning on site.
Tired. It's tough to catch up at my age.
Sure. That's why I have an alarm that tells me when to go to bed and when to wake up. And I wake up every morning and I exercise so I can be healthy. And I drink lots of water. What do you do?
This body runs on coffee.
Yeah. What kind of coffee?
Iced coffee.
Yep. Loaded with cream and sugar. And in the next episode,
what am I, a
how
savage?
to stay healthy when...
Of course it's cream and sugar. What am I, a serial killer? How else are you supposed to drink your coffee?
Black.
Oh, my God.
Coffee tastes
Well,
good
this is
just by
great.
itself.
Thanks for everyone tuning in today for the
Clearly, he
Unorganized
wants us to
Podcast.
stop this episode right away so he can go home with his Bob Ross shirt and take a nap.
Oh, that would be so much fun.
We're going grocery shopping first.
Okay, then.
All right, guys.
Thank you so much
Welcome
for
to
listening.
summer.
Welcome to summer. Give us a shout.
We will see you in the restaurant. We will see you in the next episode, or we will
See you in the streets.
talk to you in the next episode. That did not sound good. All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, Erica, we're going to wrap this up.
Okay.
Thank you for listening. This was Through Fire and Oak. We're going to see you guys in the next episode.